Energy Consultants, and today I'd like to talk to you about why projects fail. I recently published a white paper called Energy Project Development Must-Haves from the Get-Go, and in it I talk about the top 5 components that are essential to successful project development. I also give some tips about mistakes to avoid. So to some, the paper may imply that if I have the must-haves and I avoid the mistakes, I'll have a great project, a successful project, right? Well, chances of success are greatly improved, and that's a wonderful prospect. But why? Why do so many projects still fail? I believe it's because there's a subset of topics and behaviors that go into and affect project development outcomes. In my white paper, the first 2 must-haves are 1. Clear corporate and sponsor goals, and 2. Clear corporate and sponsor strategies. I keep the 2 separate. Why do I do that? Why don't I just lump them together? Most people do. They use the word goal and strategies interdependently, but I think that's a mistake. I think they should be kept separate. A goal is not a strategy, and having a strategy is not a goal. I speak of them separately for emphasis and definition. And they're very different subjects, so I really do believe that they should be treated independently of each other. So now, how about that subset? What's the first subset that is key to defining goals and strategies? Any ideas out there? Why don't you take a second to think about it? Let me say that the key to having goals and strategies is detail. And what are details? Details are single pieces of information or fact about something. And what can that something be? Well, in energy project development, it can be just about anything. That something can have to do with people, community mindset. Maybe the community is really pleased about the project. Maybe it'll bring in revenues, or maybe not. Maybe they have some concerns. Maybe that something could be technical issues, or regulatory matters, or availability of materials and delivery. Actually, there's just far too many possibilities really to mention. So why don't I give you the benefit of understanding the importance of detail from an example of personal experience. Many years ago, I was asked to renegotiate a natural gas supply and transportation agreement for a power project that was in development. Why? Well, because the project team had a fully negotiated contract already in hand, and both parties had signed, but the purchasing side did not understand the units of measure and the currency exchange rate issues. You see, this project wasn't being built in the U.S., but the project team was from the U.S., and they didn't take the time to really think through and ask the questions and consider what is necessary for the project to be a success. So what ended up happening is when we went to do the due diligence and when I did the conversions on the units of measure and the currency, the economics didn't work. The project became economically unfeasible. Now, I'm not here to judge and justify or to try to explain what they did is right or wrong. I'm happy to say that I was actually able to renegotiate that contract, but my main point is that all of that concern and anguish and delays in schedule, all of that could have been avoided if only the original team had taken the time to really understand what was at hand and what things meant, and applied the appropriate conversions and gone into greater detail. It always comes down to the detail. So in the white paper, my section on goals and strategies actually throws out a lot of questions. I'm not the sort of individual that guides the reader to do this or do that and do it in this way. I think what's far more important is that when a person is tasked with a development assignment, they really need to seek to understand. They need to ask the right questions and then determine what things need to be worked out and how they're going to work them out. So, you can't direct people to do things in a certain way. They have to really, consider and think for themselves. Details are crucial, and they can only be gathered by asking the right questions, which actually is a perfect segue into my next talk or my next video, which will be about asking the right questions. In all, I believe there are probably 6 topics and behaviors that go into producing successful end results. Today we spoke about details. Next time it'll be about asking the right questions. After that, I will talk about the desire to succeed, trust, dealing with conflict, and how to enhance creative thinking. So until next time, have a great day, and remember to pay attention to those details. And if you'd like to post a comment, please do so. If you'd like to talk, give me a call. The number's on the website. Bye.